Hello, 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 my lovelies. It's Michelle Boshard, the natural entrepreneur, here with you live on the Natural Success Clinic. I'm so excited to be with you today. This is the show where we diagnose the limiting factors to natural success for online offer ecosystems of amazing, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And I'm your host and digital doula, Michelle Boshard. I love to help folks with their online offer ecosystems. I like to have them have it naturally fun, naturally easy, and naturally authentic to work online. So today on the Natural Success Clinic, we are going to break down and analyze the online offer ecosystem of Ami Maikoski of Metamorphose Institute. She's out of Florida and she has an amazing online offer to share with you today. I'm going to bring her online here in just a moment, but just like every show, we go through, we're going to give you some stats. We're going to introduce you to Ami. We're going to introduce you to the entrepreneur, hear her story, hear her hopes, dreams, and goals, diagnose the limiting factors to her online business that's holding her back from a more naturally fun, easy, and authentic online experience. And then we're going to recommend, we're going to diagnose things, and we're going to prescribe recommendations. So are you ready for this online entrepreneur? Fabulous, fabulous woman. I hope so. Here, I'm going to ask her to start her video, and we're going to bring her on saying, hi, Ami. How are you today?
I am magnificent. Truly excited to be here with you. Thank you for such a beautiful intro and truly excited to be part of this.
I'm excited for people to see what you've got. So I'm gonna actually bring up the stat board here so we can introduce Ami a little bit quickly. And I'm just gonna open it on up here. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna close this part because I don't need it anymore. It takes just a second to pull up, guys. Sorry about that. So, and you're in Florida, Ami?
I am.
How's
nice.
the weather down there today?
Hot and sweltering, just the most beautiful natural sauna that God could give me.
Well, let's zoom in here. I want to make sure that people can see that. How does that look for you?
Looks good to me.
Okay.
How about our audience? Can you guys see that okay? Let us know.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. All right, so you guys, we've got Ami has been in business that she's currently working with for 3 years. All of those have been online. We'll get her to tell her story, but she had a prior work in the corporate world. And right now her offer is to mentor clients through transformative thoughts and embodied action to know and live their greatest self in freedom, ease, and flow. So her superpowers are connection and intuition, and I can vouch for these ones. And she works with her target audience is working with leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, pretty wide range, 23 to 65 years old, but definitely high earner, you know, like upper income brackets, 100,000 to 11 million annually worldwide. And she wants to work with people who want clarity, conviction, passion, purpose. She wants to work with people who are ready to unleash their infinite potential and power. She wants them to thrive in freedom and flow of being. And she's got a great story about that. When we started working together, we had a whole bunch of different tech. Ami had a whole bunch of different tech, but now, and we're solidifying them and amalgamating them and making life easier for her to do her business. But she has Calendly, a website, Zoom, and our S3 CRM software. She's got all the socials. And then some. So Ami, thank you so much for being here. And I just so before we even start though, guys, tell us what you like about this offer already. Does this is there someone in this room here in ENTV who can hear the value in Ami's offer? Because I certainly do. Drop a number right now as it stands, and it's going to grow, I'm sure, but drop a number between 1 and 10 on how related to your needs this offer is. Okay, And put in the chat, like, talk about what interests you about Amy's offer. So I'm going to go ahead and set a little timer because I know I need the guidance, Amy. But could you just tell us a little bit about your story, how you became, you know, a naturally purpose-driven online entrepreneur, and, you know, why you do what you do?
By all means, I am a woman of many, many hats. I have been teased that I could not write a single book if I wanted to, that I would need an entire edition and plethora because there's so much that's gone into my life. I am third oldest of 10 children, so I've been raising younger siblings, nieces and nephews, supporting my family and my parents for all of my life and continue to do so now. I am a military veteran, and so I have worked in the trauma world. I have had crazy, amazing experiences and learned how not to get stuck in those experiences and take creation to a whole new level and coloring outside the lines. I am a mother of 8 beautiful children, so I have raised and reared some of the most amazing individuals that will be setting our future ahead of us. And I very much so have held the space in corporate America. I have been an entrepreneur for many, many years as I came out of the military and got to go through interesting relationships, a beautiful yet tumultuous marriage of 18 years that taught me more lessons than I was prepared for, and definitely going into healthy relationships now and pulling through all of the humanness that's attached to that. I've had many, many face plants. I know what chaos is. I know what confusion and pain and depression is. I have lived in all of those hats. And I've also taken myself through all of that and brought myself to where I am now. And all of that was done with what I had inside of me. Nothing that I have currently was given to me externally. It was from a personal deep dive, deep within, to figure out who I am first and foremost. What is it that I want? Number 2. And how in that passion can I turn that into a service to impact humanity on a greater level? And that's exactly what I do for the people that I work with. And what's even more fun is once you know who you are and what you want, everything else for the most part falls together. I have some amazing tools that I utilize that many of my clients have absolutely fallen in love with that I'm excited to share with you a little bit later. But most of all, what I want you to think right now is, even as a successful entrepreneur, a leader, an executive in corporate America, the leader of your home, which, let me tell you, is plenty to run for many people. If you feel like you're attached to that hamster wheel, if you feel like you can't give your dreams the life that they desire, if you feel like there's containers and limitations and elephants sitting on your chest and so much that you can't breathe and you can't figure out what the next step is, it's time to ask. It's time to ask somebody who is where you want to be and to get yourself out of that, to thrive in the beautiful freedom and flow of simply being. And that's why I'm here today.
Wow, you guys can see Amy's power, right? And when is enough enough? When are you done feeling like the elephant is sitting on your chest? What does that tell me, audience, to put in the chat? What does it look like for you to be done? Like, at what point do you decide that I got to do something about this? I want you to put that point in the chat, just because that's what it seems like Amy, when they're at that point, is that when you like to work with them?
It's not even when I like to work with them, it's when they're ready to be worked with. Because the answers that all of my clients have are inside of them. Even though I have the experience and the authority and the training and the certification and the all kinds of investments in that field, it doesn't matter until we become a clean canvas that we say, all right, I can't do this by myself, or I would have done it by now. I need assistance. And the fun part about what I do is I'm only a Sherpa. I walk alongside these individuals, ask the right questions, do some in-depth discovery and analysis to figure out what their answers are. This isn't about me. This is all about you.
Right. So, okay, but given that, I mean, this is we're on a, the Natural Success Clinic about your business. So what do you love about what you do for people? What is the emotional gratification? What is the thing that you like to see when they have that insight, or that, that freedom, or the thing that they're getting out of it? What does it do for you?
Absolutely. So usually, like I said, people come to me in a point of despair, a point of anger, a point of regret, a point of shame, a point of, I know how to do this, why can't I? And so when they go from that face, those wrinkles in their forehead and that anger and that fear in their eyes, and we simply start out with a discovery and design call, and all of a sudden the light goes on in their eyes. Their heads lift up a little bit more. You see them breathe a little bit lighter, and that hope comes back into their eyes. That is priceless for me. Because I know that why I'm here is to do for others what was done for me. And unfortunately, I didn't have one person. I had to grab bits and pieces of puzzles and put it all together. But now that I've got that complete ecosystem, I can take people from where they are to where they want to go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, from a business perspective, any good online business has sort of like 5 main pieces, I feel, to it. So the strong why, the clear offer, the authentic marketing, the consistent sales, and the delivery, the over delivery, the actually doing what the client paid for. And success has to be natural in all of those things for your business to be naturally successful. So we're going to find out every week here where each entrepreneur's Achilles heel is, and diagnose it, and then recommend some solutions. But Amy, before we get into that, what is your, in very short terms, what is your personal and business goal? Like, what are your personal business goals in like the next 3 months or year? And what's the biggest challenge you find with one of those 5 areas in your business right now?
Absolutely. So personally and business really are ultimately the same. Constant change and growth, not only as the mentor that I am, but the continual student that I am. So continuing in my own expansion so that I can offer that greater value to my clients as I continue to learn more about myself. But professionally, my goal is to take my audience and 3x it in the next 3 months. It's a big goal. So currently, I've got my Facebook followers, I've got my LinkedIn followers, I've got my contact list that are all personal and local individuals. And in those numbers, I want to 3x that. Not so much for the numbers to say I reached a certain quota, but more the increase of impact that I'm making on different individuals, putting myself out there.
No, that sounds right, because everything I know about you is all about service. So that makes sense to me. Okay, so guys in the audience, don't be an armchair quarterback here. Let's tell us your biggest challenge with those 5 things too. Your why, you've got a clear why. Tell us your, whether it's your offer structure, or like what you're offering, whether it's your authentic marketing, sales, or delivery. That is the biggest challenge. So I want to see that in the chat. But for those of you who are new here in the Natural Success Clinic, or to online offers in general, I'm just going to give a little bit of a blurb here about what I'm calling an offer ecosystem. We're going to actually pull Amy's up here, but online offer ecosystems are not just working online. Like, it's not you book a call, you do a Zoom, and that's your online offer. For me, offer ecosystems are a bit like nature. It's the water, the soil, the plant, the insects, the animals, all working together and functioning well. And for those of you who find that a little tree huggery, let's talk about car engines. So you have parts in the car engine, you have all these different parts, and they need to function well together. And then you need gas in the tank to make the car go, so you can drive it where you want. want. And so these functions as systems. And so we take a look at your free offer, low, mid, high tickets, how they're functioning together and what tech are in place. And so that's what we're going to do with Amy today, and let you in a little bit more into the back end of her business so that, you know, you can take a look at it if you're considering thinking about doing an online business or have an online business and need some ideas. So we're going to open up her board here again. Hopefully it'll open up to the same spot. Oh yeah, let's do a zoom in. Just half a sec here, guys. Seems like every time I open it, it likes to open to a new spot. I wish it would just stay put. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and close this down, and that was really great because we saved some time. We were a little over anyway. Okay, guys, so you'll see Amy's offer, and we've pre-filled it just in the interest of time. But basically, Amy, I'm going to go through here and just kind of review what you have. So you have for your freebies, your Costco samples, the places people can come to kind of check Amy out and, you know, get a little nibble and that's good. So you've got ebooks, you've got a Facebook group, you participate in the Badass Entrepreneur Network, you've got events with VIP upgrades, you've got free consults, you've got your website with Empowerment Hub resources, you've got events. Tell me what your favorite freebie or the one that's most successful for you, how does that look? Which one of your free ones do you like the best, or do you want to talk
Absolutely.
about?
Well, connection is currency. So anybody that's in the entrepreneurial world, even as executives, corporate world, connection is currency. So anytime that I can be with someone, whether preferably physical, but if we can do at least a Zoom call, so I can see you, I can feel your energy, I can watch your vibration. I would say probably my favorite one would be my discovery and design consult.
Okay.
That really truly is the beginning of you.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you want? What are the passions that drive you? And that's the beginning of the mapping. And that's usually what lights people's eyes up and give them hope.
Okay, and so they can we'll get you to drop your calendar link so that people can actually experience that, and if they want to connect with Amy, you can. So let me go back a little bit here, back up. So you talked about offering clarity and conviction in their passion and purpose, like finding out who they are, unleashing their infinite potential and power, like basically, you know, kind of figuring it, you know, what they could be out, and then getting a hold of that self-mastery and thriving in that freedom and flow of just being themselves. So, but you know, people don't start off with that. So like when people, like you say, they come frustrated and depressed, or they're under stress, or they're just not getting where they want to go. Tell me, I'm guessing, I'm hallucinating that those is how they feel, but tell me how your clients feel before they start with you, and then tell me when they end, how they feel.
Absolutely. So there's been a diverse amount of clients that I have had over the years. Some of them have been extremely wealthy and make significant amount of money. However, they're miserable in life. Their relationships are hurting. They're not happy. They don't feel very driven or happy. They wake up checking boxes.
Okay.
That's a big one. Most of what we're at. The second one that I get is total overwhelm and burnout. That they're really good at what they do, but they've been doing it and they've become robotic. They've lost themselves. There's no emotion. There's no attachment.
Just kind of going through the motions.
Going through the motions. Absolutely. And then the last one that I get is just total shiny penny. They're all over the place. They really don't have any connection or passion to anything. They will say yes to everything, and they have a lot going on, and they look important, but they don't feel important. So there's no anchor to a passion. There's no connection to who they are and what they want to be doing in life.
Okay, that's really interesting. I mean, it's easy to get there, right? Like that's,
yes.
So
well, the demand in the world is to be successful. So when we're successful, we just keep going and going and going and going and going.
Right. And we end up being other people's, the external world defines us rather than our own purpose. Correct. Okay, so so when they feel, when they've done, when Amy's worked her magic, what are they feeling? How does that connect to them personally?
What we do is we actually find a lot of the limiting beliefs that are in their heads. So whether those limiting beliefs have come from experiences that they've been through, whether those came from generational impact of what has been handed to them through their chromosomes and family traditions, or whether it's simply because they have not encircled themselves with people that uplift them, it is essential for us to identify them first and make room for the new, make room for what they want. And so once we release what no longer serves them through exercises and new habit forming type of activities that we do, we then get them excited about life. We then get them excited about what drives them inside and attach it to those desires and passions so that it doesn't have to be a motivation. It doesn't have to be a constant push. It's more of a pull to what's natural, to what's driving them to where they want to get to. And amazingly enough, that's where the freedom and flow comes in. Once you can release a lot of those containers and those external distractions, then that freedom and that flow starts coming, and you're happy. You're get excited when you wake up because you know what you're planning on doing. You're excited about your goals. Things are happening for you. You feel beautiful. And there's all kinds of things that all of a sudden become very organic instead of forced. And it's a beautiful place.
Effortlessly. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So that to me, like, it's always important to have that transformation clarified, that your offer, has a strong enough pull. And, I think your why is, clearly you're passionate about it, and it comes from you authentically, from your own journey. Your offer is great. You have but let's finish talking about your offers. You have this EML consultation. You have a number of different, you have workbooks and elite, like a subscription community and some other events, sales events, and that sort of things that you do. But can you tell us a little bit about this EML consultation?
I can, absolutely. So the reason why the discovery and design call is first, that initial seed, that's the initial planting of mapping. So the EML is your existence, who you are, your movement, what you're passionate about, how you serve the world, and your legacy. How are you going to impact humanity, and what are you going to leave behind? And there's 3 different levels to that. The first one is focusing on self. So we do some deep dive discoveries of the different elements of what make you who you are, the stories that you've lived through, the authority that you've gained, the wisdom that you gained, and the different things that make you uniquely who you are. Then we do one that's called service. And that service is basically how you take who you are so that you can authentically take that and help other people, because you're 2 steps ahead of them, 10 steps ahead of them, because you've taken yourself through that and you can shorten their journey. So we have a second level evaluation and mapping that we do that will help them to get clarity. It's kind of a reference book. It's got your mission statement and it's got your color psychologies, the type of audience you want to attract, the 3 pillar elements of your content and what your offer is, and all of those great things. And then we finish it off with your scaling, which is the 3rd version. And scaling takes you from that established entrepreneur when you're starting to make those significant monies coming in, and you go, okay, now how do I keep that momentum going? How do I continue elevating my ripple out into the world?
Okay, so this is like, it sounds really holistic, because it does everything from your psychology and to your branding, to your purpose, through mapping out like how you want to show up for people.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. So that's your low ticket. Okay. So then you have, and that's one-on-one in 3-hour chunks. for each of
For
the
each
EML?
session. Yep. For
Okay.
each session,
Okay.
it's usually about 3 hours, one-on-one. It's very, very valuable. I get raving reviews from that. I have people that I worked with several years ago that still continue to reference back to their EML because of the
Okay.
value that it offers. And it morphs just like we do as people. It
Right.
morphs, but when it's done where it's aligned, it changes a little bit, but the actual contents of it stay very, very particular to who you are because you are your brand.
Well, and you can basically, like they can kind of, with the tools that you give them, they can kind of take it from there in terms of updating
Yes.
their core documents, right? So they always have that. Okay, that's great. So then the high ticket, so that's the 3 hour ones. And then the higher ticket, you actually have a 12-week
I
program. And
do.
okay, can you give us a brief
I can. So the 12-week is really, really fun. It basically takes the surface that we go into and the service and scaling and self and elements to find out who you are, which, like Michelle said, I like to empower my clients. I work with them, but I've raised 8 kids. I'm not here to wipe anybody's bottom or feed them or hold their hands to cross the street. I like to
go
say, all
mom?
right,
I'm done with the parenting.
you have done your part to get yourself here, and I'm going to help you put on the right colored glasses. However, it's yours to run. And I'm here to support you as you have questions and need to go a little bit deeper. But this 12-week course there's nothing like it. We basically take you through a deep dive of true learning of your paradigms, of your habitual behaviors, of your inner dialogue in your brain, of your neurotransformational languages that you use, and really deep dive to refine so that we can teach you how to be the creator of an unimaginable reality. You wouldn't know right now because your consciousness isn't there. And by the time you're done, not even most people within even the first month, the first 30 days, look back and the them that started this is unrecognizable. And so
Okay.
as you go, it just continues to intensify, and it's nothing short of celebratory. It's certainly not easy, but it's simple. And
Okay.
it's scientifically proven and based on universal law. So everybody, it applies to everybody, not one specific person, not one age, not one background, not one culture, none of that. It applies to anyone who is human, which is all of us.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm looking here and I'm just thinking about our 5 elements. And I've got, okay, so your why is really clear. And we haven't finished going through your offer yet, but we'll do that. And then your offer, I think your offers are really clear because you've got the different levels. You've got your lead magnets at the free and low ticket level. You've got your core offer. It's very well defined. You have a process. You had people through it. And then your elite, I know that's, like you only deliver more and more. And actually, folks, that's one of the things I look for in an offer ecosystem is that as your client starts going up your offer ecosystem. Some people call this a value chain. Some people call this a client journey. I call it an offer ecosystem because I actually think it goes round and round. But as Amy spends less time here with her lead magnets. Those are free things people can download. They're the entry point to the system. It collects contacts into her business. But as her time kind of goes up, her price goes up, but more importantly, the transformation to the client goes up. So as you can see, like the free stuff is, but the 3-hour thing is going to give a significant impact to the client's ability to, get into their being and get into their authentic self. But the 12-week program is going to be really, really in depth. And then, obviously the one-to-ones are the 6 to 12 month executive coaching and that sort of thing. And then you also do speaking. Is that right?
I do. So I love the fact that whatever I am able to convey, I can convey it on an appetizer level where I give people crumbs to excite them to be willing to look inward and shift how they've been living up until now. And I can do that on the thousands, or I can do it on the very small level. I've gone into corporations and spoken to individual departments I've spoken only and taught to the corporate executives so they could then be trained and then trickle down. I've spoken to individual groups and nonprofit organizations. So again, the nature of what I teach is based on our being, on our essence, on our existence. And so all of us have to do that. And when we do better knowing ourselves and releasing and thriving on the level that we do, then our relationships change, our communications with others change, our professional successes change. So it impacts our total life when we start inward.
Okay. So let's talk about your business back end. Let's talk about your marketing and sales. And I think when we spoke, and so full disclosure, folks, you know, I've been working with Amy to support her in building out her offer ecosystem, because as you can see, her why is very clear, her offer is very clear, her delivery is impeccable. But really it's that administrative slash sales slash marketing piece. Is that accurate, Amy? Is that's where am I diagnosing it right here? That it's
yes. I'm so good at loving people. I'm so good at connecting to people. I am so good at elevating people and doing what I do. And, you know, I'm a creator. I love to create. Don't get me wrong. Canva's one of my favorite sites. So put me on the branding side or creating a slideshow or a presentation. I'm in heaven, but don't ask me how to do the tech.
Right. So and I'm just going to go through here, because what we kind of worked out before is, you know, for each level, you're going to need different things. So for example, we're going to build you a funnel for your subscription, you know, for people to sign up to your subscription community, to register for your events. You're an Academy member here on ENTV, and you know, you've got events that you do. You've got these EML consults. We've got the booking calendar for them. You know, we're gonna build your off Facebook private monthly paid subscription community, where people who maybe you know, maybe they're not quite ready for the 3-hour or for the 12-week yet, can kind of like come in, get some, you know, get some loving and get some resources that you've already assembled for them to kind of nurture them along their way. Building out your course platforms. But I wanted to focus in on your sales pipeline leads, if that's okay. So I'm gonna switch off the whiteboard here and talk a little bit more. But before I do that, I want to hear from the audience here. What did you learn anything from Amy's offer ecosystem, how she has her offer structured that maybe you can apply in your own business? And just a side note, if you maybe wouldn't be someone like Amy who's brave enough to come on the show and be in the hot seat, and, you know, but you still want me to go through this process with you and identify, you know, like, okay, do I do a book, or do I do an event, or do I do a challenge, or do I do a, you know, a Pinterest, you know, download, like how the freebies, or, you know, what my low and mid and upper ticket offers are. Feel free to go to my website and book a call for a private offer ecosystem assessment. I do those as well. So we're just doing it here because Amy's brave and has an amazing offer. But a lot of people don't like to talk about, I mean, the marketing, yeah, the tech for the funnels and the sales and that sort of thing. But they also don't like to talk about sales, because, you know, sales, it can feel, well, salesy. So can you tell us a little bit about how you feel about sales, and how, you know, what your mindset shift has had to be about sales?
Absolutely. So like I told you, there was a number of years in investment that I did in certifications and learning how to do this. And so I've been in several different ecosystems, and there is a lot of information that's been poured into me. And as I took the things that resonated with me, I learned very much so that sales, and this had to be a major transformation because, of course, like many of us, money is always a very subject to talk about, right? Many of us struggle with that because of upbringings and experiences and generational stuff. And so sales to me, because I was in the ecosystems that they were pushed. I worked in corporate America. I was in banking. I worked in all the places where the numbers were there. And if you didn't make a quota and you didn't close the sale, then you got pounded, you lost your job, you got moved from one place to another. It was never good enough. There was never enough. And so sales to me got a really nasty taste in my mouth. And so when it came to entrepreneurship, and people would come to me because what I spoke of was their language.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they had a desire, and my solution filled their desire.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to sell them on anything because
Right.
it was so aligned. And so when I started learning that when I'm in alignment to who I am and what I know so well, because that's what I've done, my certifications and what's pulled me through to where I'm at now, then it was no longer salesy, it was service. We're offering a solution to a need. You don't have to convince them. And if you feel that you have to get a sales pitch out and do a process, then you're probably not in the right market, or you're probably not working with the right audience if it feels salesy. So that's definitely something that's a target that if you feel that way, we got to grab onto that bad boy by the horns and figure out, is it you? Is it your alignment? Where in all of these elements are you getting that resistance?
Right, because and I know that that's probably literally part of what you do with people when they do that. But I know that, for example, like Tony Robbins talks about, Grant Cardone talk about how business is a spiritual, because it's a personal development initiative more than anything else, because you have to. It's not so much that you're trying to become in alignment with why you're here on the planet, and your true purpose for whatever spiritual framework you use to showcase that you're connected with your purpose and your source of spirituality, and that it's important to do that, because otherwise it is just forcing it. It's not natural.
No, and what's really amazing too is getting the peace of mind that for the people that need what you are offering, they will be drawn to you. They'll come to you. They'll ask you for that solution. You don't have to force it upon them. So what's really fun is in our mind, we have this timeline. Well, I've got this value ladder, and if they want this, then they're going to want this, then they're going to want this, then they're going to want this. Nah, not so much, you guys.
Well, and that's why I feel like it's more of an offer ecosystem, because you can have all of these pieces and they'll pick from the smorgasbord when they're ready, right? You just have to be able.
When they're ready. Say that again.
When they're ready.
When they're ready, they will say, I'm ready. You guys, it's not up to us. Disconnect yourself. This is all about your clients. It was your job to create these ecosystems. It was your job to get the certification, to put the content together, to be vulnerable, to put your own story out there. But once you do that, your job is also to back the F off and let these people come to you and go, Amy, you resonate with me. How can you help me? And once you guys have that discovery, you may not be the right one for them. But that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, because then you can go, oh, well, wait a minute. I don't really offer that. But because I've been in this area long enough in this topic, I've got this person or this person that I could definitely recommend a referral to. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, is these joint ventures and these referrals.
Well, and let's take a look at how then, it's a matter of getting your vibe out to them, because like you say, when you're vibing on their needs, their pain points, their path, their transformation, the requirements, then they're seeing you. So I just wanted to take a look. So we talked a little bit about the tech, but we haven't let me talk a little bit more about some of the things that we can do. And for you guys, we're going to talk a little bit about tech here, and we can talk about some of the general solutions, but we're going to basically go into this. We're going to just talk. We diagnose the problem as, sort of the marketing sales tech. And now we need, it's not the mindset and it's not the vibe or the offer. We're going to talk a little bit more about like the tools, and we're going to deep dive into it afterwards. There's an after party to the show now, and you can come on over into the Natural Entrepreneur Facebook group to be able to do that, to check that out. But I just wanted to kind of like quickly go here some of the pieces, because we probably got like 10 minutes here, where I wanted to show you know, some of the features of software that we can do. So this is the back end of the S3 software I use for all our clients, and it's a great place to be, and it builds the kind of tools that you need to put into place to get yourself in front of people. And so I'm gonna kind of go through like an example funnel here. I'm actually going to show you the pitch perfect contest, which you can use in order to like win a spot here on Natural Success Clinic. But I'm just gonna like open that one up, like so that you're looking at the back end. But this is an example of the type of funnel. Like, so Amy's, for example, she will have a descriptor funnel for her EML consults. And so people can say, oh, okay, here's the information, basic information on it. They sign up. So, but these kinds of, you know, if you don't have a website is a bit different than a funnel. You know, if a website is more like a brochure, a funnel moves them towards a particular action or you know, call to action, like booking a call, or you know, buying now, or you know, watching a webinar and then moving forward in the process, the sales process. So when you have a funnel like this, where you have opt-in pages, and this could be anything. This could be, you know, signing up for a contest. This could be you know, downloading one of Amy's workbook. It could be any of those things. But once we have these funnels built, then these, in this system, all of the contacts go into, and I'm not going to open my contacts because I have actual people in there and I don't want to breach privacy. But the contacts all go into a database, and it tracks where they came in from. Like, did they come in for the calendar? Did they come in from the newsletter? Did they come in from the download? Did they come in from Amy, you know, signing up for Amy's EML consult? And so you can tag and segment them. And the great part about that is that you can replace a bunch of software subscriptions and save money and time, because you don't have to have MailChimp and Calendly and Wix and Kajabi and all of these softwares. You can amalgamate them all, save yourself all of those subscriptions, and get tech support in the process. So this is an example of a type of funnel that can be built. I'm going to show you then, once somebody enters your offer ecosystem by getting into your contact database, you also use the system to reach out to all of your socials. So Amy has all the socials, and Amy, this is something that we're looking at for you, is that when you get in here, you're going to have like a command and control center for your marketing. So it becomes easier to share that vibe that you need to share with them, because you can post across all of your socials at once, and you can collect all of the comments, likes, hearts, you know, interactions made on all of those socials into one conversations area, and it'll let you have texts, it'll let you have email, it'll let you direct message in Facebook, it'll let you comment back and reply back in Instagram, it'll let you basically kind of like not have to go switch between all these accounts, have all these passwords, have all the things, and you can program it out. So you can drip content, you can, there's lots of wonderful templates, that sort of thing. So sharing your vibe, like you're a whiz with the Canva, you're a whiz with the, you know, like the visuals and the branding. So really, you can, you know, you're not someone who's going to need the social planner templates, although there are you know, already pre-done. For those of you guys who aren't whizzes in Canva like Amy, like there's all sorts of, you know, great templates that you can use for all sorts of different types of like sectors. But Amy's need is more around the personalized, you know, kind of directed, and you can post in places that you own as an administrator, but you can also like use your page to extend other things. So
So
I just wanted to show that, because that's a one feature that we're going to use, and we'll dive into in the after party. But then not only that, can you have a command and control center for your marketing? You can have automations that help you do those first steps. So Amy, I don't know how many clients, you interact with, or if you have time to. I mean, I'm sure you'd rather be helping people like in person or talking with them on the calls, but getting them on the calls. I mean, aside from having a VA, which, is a wonderful solution, and, we have a service for that. There's a lot more people that need help than we have VA. We only have 2 hands, 24 hours each, even a VA.
So true.
So what we've done here with the S3 software is we've developed chatbot booking automations, for example, where when you do those push outs, you can set the system up to trigger so that your Instagram, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, live chats. We can set it up so that when you get a comment back, a reply back, you can tag them with where they came from. You can send them through specific things. So like Facebook, you'd send them different set of things than you would Instagram maybe. And you can teach the chat bot all about you and have it talk like you to book the initial steps. And so it just kind of takes the sting out of the admin and the push for lead generation. So that's a really thing. I just wanted to show folks that.
Well, I think what's exciting too, like you said, it's customizable. So I don't lose my branding. I don't lose.
Oh, shoot. Hang on a half a second. I think I might have accidentally cut us off. Are we still live?
No, I think
I might have moved this. I just clicked a button that I shouldn't have clicked, I think. Just checking. Hang on a second. Can you see? Are we still live, guys?
I can see live streaming and recording.
Okay, we're still live. Okay, whew. I clicked a button and it made one of those click noises like, oh, I'm done. So I like, whew. All right, so here we are. Carry on. You were saying?
Yeah, so I just was really excited about that because I was very hesitant because I work so hard on who I am and how I show up and about being authentic. So my hesitation, because I don't know tech well, when I spoke to Michelle about this, I said, it's great that we can go into these automations and, it'll send a message. But I've also been on the receiving side of a lot of those and looked at them and gone, yes, that's very AI. And not liked it. And so when she showed me that we could customize those and make sure that it's aligned with how I speak to people and, how it is that I follow up, I was elated. So I'm so excited to continue diving into that.
Yeah, and we do that very carefully, and you actually get to personalize it yourself. So when as you train the bot, you can basically, I like this, more of this, and I want less of that because that sucked, and I don't want people to do like. You can actually give it, and when someone says this is specifically what you say back. Like you can actually make it you that's telling the AI. AI is just an assistant.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, so I guess that we're gonna dive into at the top of the hour here in about 10 minutes and over in the Natural Entrepreneur. More on some of this stuff and some of the things that are helpful as tools and tricks. But I just wanted to thank Amy for coming on here, and I'll give you guys a little bit more information. So Amy, I'm gonna kind of close off right now for you and then just say a few parting words, and then I'll see you at the after party.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Okay. It's been a blast.
Okay, cool. Talk soon. Okay. All right, you guys. So I love Amy's offer. It was great to see that she has a strong why. We're in diagnosing the problems. She has a strong why. She has a very clear offers. She needed some help, not with mindset or with her clarity of her vibe for marketing and sales, or thinking about how to not be afraid of sales. It was more actually logistics of how to actually build a sales funnel. I actually forgot to show you guys. that there's actually the software actually also has a sales pipeline that as you work through your all your leads can be organized into where they're at in your sales process. Like if they've just come in, if you've had one follow-up call with them, if you have moved them to a call booking where you've had a call, or if you need to follow up, if they're ready to buy and they've onboarded and all the contracting stuff. You can have automations that help the back end of your business all through. So it's quite a powerful software. But what I love is building it around you and what you love naturally. So, and my purpose and my offer is born out of a need to, like, you know, prioritize important things in my life. And I imagine that you're not much different. I designed my offer around my life because I have a guy who has complex needs, and I needed a flexible business that I could do from online at home, and that I'm only one person, so I needed all the help in all the areas and I went through 5 years of learning all the different softwares and having subscriptions before I found the place where I could really call home and have all of my it was like a dashboard where I could have everything I needed all in one place at a cost-effective price, because I'm a thrifty mom. And when I do this for people, I actually, my bigger purpose is to fit into the business ecosystem of the world, and to serve my community and my son's community. And so this is actually, as a natural entrepreneur, I'm a social purpose enterprise. And yeah, the money I earn from the digital marketing support for clients actually goes to help get respite and homeschool for complex needs kids. So that's when you talk about purpose-driven offers, you have to have a why that makes you put your feet on the ground in the morning, that you have to have a reason. And certainly, you know, a lot of us, our kids are our drivers. But if you don't have that why and that purpose-driven focus, I encourage you to work with Amy to find it, because you have a gift inside you. You matter. And I'd love to help you build the tech. Talk with Amy, you know, get all clarified. We can help you build the tech. But if you like this show and you either you want to hear the detailed prescription for the sales funnels and some of the marketing stuff, we're going to hop over to the Natural Entrepreneur group and have a prescription filling coaching session afterwards. So yeah, come to the after party. It'll be a lot of fun, but it's really actually only for people who need it. So like this is you know, this is people who are serious about either creating an offer that's, you know, gives them a purpose, or generates them income so they can maybe get out of their 9-to-5 or the corporate like Amy did. You know, that we look deeper at all of the logistical tips and tricks and things that you need for your business. So you don't have an online offer, don't worry about coming. We'll start at the top of the hour, and the link should be in the session here. But if you don't want to be on the show, you know, you can get your own private offer ecosystem analysis. I also do, if you haven't got an offer at all yet and you don't even know where to start, there's an 8-week program. I've got an offer for, if you're at that point where you have a death by 1,000 software cuts and you're just like, I just want a coach, or I just want to do this, and I need help with the administrative automations. I need help with the marketing stuff like Amy. I need help. Maybe it's more around clarity around the office, whatever. Just get in touch. We can help you out. And yeah, I think if you want to come on the show, though, you're more than welcome to try and win a spot. It's for a ENTV Academy members co-creator program at Natural Entrepreneur, and members of the Natural Entrepreneur Facebook group. But you can win a spot here and get like a lot of you know, I think you guys learned a lot about Amy's offer, and that was probably a great promotion for her. So you could be on the show if you enter our marketing contest and provide your marketing statement. So give us your elevator pitch. And you saw the funnel earlier. I'll drop it in the link in the comments. You can enter, give yourself a chance to improve your camera skills and your, you know, sharpen up your marketing statement. So you come on, you do your 10-second, this is who I help for what reason. Then you provide us what your target audience is and your offer is. And then at the end of the month, the group votes on whose marketing statement most accurately seems to represent their business and which was the most catchiest. So join the marketing statement. Even if you just want some free promotion for your business, you can join the marketing statement to the Pitch Perfect contest. And if you win, we'll have you here on Natural Success Clinic. So Love you guys. It'll be great to see you at the top of the hour in the Natural Entrepreneur Group. And yeah, just when you're a natural entrepreneur, you'll be a natural success. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time. And I hope you guys have a great, happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. Okay, bye.